everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Cleveland Sports Show. I am your host, Darius Sethna. Thank you so much for joining me this week. Have a lot to cover today. We have our sports fact of the day for you, of course, Premier League updates, MLS updates, Crew fans. It's a very exciting time of the year for us. And Logan Purcell joins me this week to talk NBA basketball as the preseason is coming up in the coming week. And we have Browns talk as well. Ladies and gentlemen, here is our new intro to the Cleveland Sports Show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Darius Sethna of NordoniaHills.News, and the Cleveland Sports Show starts right now. Hello everyone, welcome to this week's edition of the Cleveland Sports Show. I am your host, Darius Sethna. As I mentioned, we have a lot to talk about today, so let's get you started with our sports fact of the day. And this was a rather monumental fact in the history of sports. Today is December 4th, and on this day, back in 1943, MLB commissioner at the time, Commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis, did this. He announced that any baseball club may sign African Americans. Now, at this time, the most prominent African American player in the 1940s we all know him as a hero now and a legend, Jackie Robinson. And during his 10-year MLB career, Robinson won the inaugural Rookie of the Year award in 1947. He was an All-Star for 6 consecutive seasons, from 1949 through 1954, and he also won the National League Most Valuable Player award in 1949, the first African-American player to be honored with that award. His batting average was about .31, 734 total runs batted, and 137 home runs for his career. That is the wonderful, astounding career of Jackie Robinson. And you could say its roots came from this day in 1943 when Commissioner Landis announced that any baseball club was allowed to sign African-American players. And that is our sports fact of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into some soccer news for you to start out our episode. Premier League, haven't talked about that in a while. Match day 10 of 38 took place this past weekend. Let me run down the scores for you real quick. Newcastle defeated Crystal Palace by a final score of 2-0. Brighton and Liverpool tie 1-1. Manchester City destroy Burnley 5-0. Leeds United take on Everton and beat them 1-0. West Brom also defeats Sheffield United 1-0. Southampton losing to Manchester United. Final score of that one 3-2. Chelsea and Tottenham tie. They tied on Sunday 0-0. Also on Sunday, the Wolves defeated Arsenal by a final score of 2-1. Fulham defeated Leicester City 2-1, and our final 2-1 score of this match day was with West Ham and Aston Villa. West Ham getting the better of Aston Villa with that 2-1 score. We have a slate of matches this weekend as well. Some of them include West Brom taking on Crystal Palace, Liverpool taking on the Wolves, and Brighton going up against Southampton. Overall standings in the Premier League. Tottenham Hotspur is in first place in the league. They have 21 total points. With 10 matches played, Tottenham Hotspur with 6 wins, 3 draws, and 1 loss. Liverpool come in at second place. They have 6 wins, 3 draws, and a loss as well. Same record as Tottenham Hotspur, so they also have 21 points. Those two teams kind of gunning it out for that first place position. Chelsea in third place with 5 wins, 4 draws, and 1 loss for 19 total points. Leicester City in fourth place with a 6-win, 0-draw, 4-loss record for 18 points on the season. So that rounds out our top 4 in the Premier League this week. In terms of top scorers in the Premier League, Dominic Calvert-Lewin of Everton is the first player this year in the Premier League to get the double-digit tally for goals scored. Calvert-Lewin with 10 goals on the season. Tottenham Hotspur forward Son Heung-min comes in at second place with 2 goals. In third place, tied for third place, we have Jamie Vardy of Leicester City and Mohamed Salah of Liverpool. Both of those players with 8 goals. Among the fourth place candidates, include Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United, Callum Wilson of Newcastle, Harry Kane of Tottenham, and Patrick Bamford of Leeds United. As I mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, match day 11 of 38 in the Premier League begins this weekend. Some of our games, as I mentioned, include some more I'll mention for you here. Chelsea taking on Leeds United, West Ham taking on Manchester United, Manchester City going up against Fulham, and Burnley going up against Everton. Slate of games. Check them out on Google. Definitely will be fun to watch. Now, let's take a trip across the Atlantic Ocean. Let's go to the MLS and Ohio Columbus Crew. Are we seeing flashbacks of 2015 when the Crew made it all the way to the MLS Cup Final? Well, we might have that dream become a reality again. If the Crew can get one more win, they will head to the MLS Cup Final. And it stemmed from a 2-0 win that they had over Nashville FC in the conference semifinals, Cup Conference semifinals. The Crew and Nashville were tied after 90 minutes of regulation play, 0-0. But overtime was when the Crew turned it on. In the 99th minute, Pedro Santos with a beautiful goal to put the Crew up 1-0. And then just 4 minutes later, the Crew's top scorer, most reliable goal scorer all season long, Yassi Zardes, steps up in the 103rd minute and delivers a beautiful just tap in the goal, one-on-one situation with the Nashville keeper, and he had a beautiful, just tapped it in, rolled it in like it was nothing, and that was money for the Crew. It may have been nothing for Yassi Zardes, but it was everything for the Columbus Crew. When I say nothing for Yassi Zardes, I mean just the level of difficulty for him. He's the Crew's most reliable goal scorer. Come on, that's nothing for him. But it meant everything for him and the team emotionally, as they're going to go to the Cup Conference Finals now, and they're going to be taking on kind of a sleeper in this MLS season so far. The New England Revolution were one of the lower seeds of the MLS. They were actually the 8th seed. Columbus is the 3rd seed, so they're going to have that home field advantage at MAPFRE Stadium in Columbus. But this New England team is one you certainly do not want to sleep on. They defeated Orlando City 3-1, and they knocked off the top-seeded Philadelphia Union 2-0. So this is a New England team who have a lot of pride and really are not feeling any pressure due to how low of a seed they were. So Columbus needs to be ready, and they're going to need to play a lot better than they did against Nashville. They're going to have to turn it on earlier, and they're going to have to be ready for the pressure New England is going to set on them. For that Columbus Crew game, that game's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern Time this upcoming Sunday on ABC. So I'm in a bit of a dilemma here as a sports fan, because not only is the Browns game on this upcoming Sunday at 1 p.m. against the Titans, but then there's also this Columbus Crew game at 3 p.m. So I guess we could watch the Browns game and then just have to flip between Browns and the Columbus Crew game. It's going to be very interesting, and it's going to be a great day of sports, ladies and gentlemen. Columbus taking on New England at 3 p.m. This upcoming Sunday. The game will be on ABC or ESPN Deportes if you prefer the Spanish version. And we'll see what happens. If the Crew win this game, they will be heading to the MLS Cup Final, which is scheduled for December 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, next Saturday. And on the other side of the MLS Cup bracket, I'll pull it up for you here to see. The Cup Conference semifinals Cup Conference Finals will be in the Western Conference will be between the Seattle Sounders and Minnesota United. Minnesota got to the Western Conference Finals with a 3-0 win over Sporting Kansas City. Seattle defeated Dallas 1-0 in their conference semifinal matchup. And therefore, the Seattle Sounders will be taking on Minnesota at 9:30 p.m. on this upcoming Monday, the 7th, at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. As I mentioned, the winners of each of these two games between Columbus, New England, Seattle, Minnesota will face each other in the MLS Cup Final. So excited. Cannot wait to see what these matchups have in store for us.